Hello everyone, welcome to AVISION Institute, AVISION for CLAT and other law exams. So, in today's class, as you can see on the board, today's discussion will be on libel and slander. Today's discussion will be on libel and slander. So, let us first understand from where this term came from. So, this libel and slander, what is this libel and slander? First, let us go into the roots. So, this libel and slander came from defamation. Okay. And defamation is in Law of Torts. So, this is the link. If you read Law of Torts, then you will find defamation is a civil wrong in Law of Torts, and libel and slander are two kinds of defamation. Libel and slander are two kinds of defamation, rather we can say that libel and slander are two types of wrong. Okay. Now, let us understand that what is this defamation and what is this libel and slander. So, from Law of Torts, we can see that defamation came. So, what is defamation? Let us first understand. Defamation came from the word defame. Okay. Now, to understand this defamation, you can refer to some other videos which are available in our channel. You will find video on defamation which is very descriptive, which we have discussed in a descriptive way, which is totally on defamation. The video is totally on defamation. So, you can go to that video, we will be giving you the link, and you can go to that video and see what is defamation and the various details of defamation. Okay. Now, defamation means to harm or injure the reputation of any person. So, we are individuals, we have some reputation. So, if our reputation is injured or harmed by any other individual, then that person commits defamation or that person commits a tort. Okay. Now, we can see that in today's class, we will be discussing about the kinds of defamation. So, libel and slander are two kinds of defamation or two kinds of wrong. So, let us understand what is libel and what is slander, what is the difference between the two. So, as we can see, libel is an untrue defamatory statement. It is an untrue defamatory statement, means some statement which is defamatory in nature, means which is insulting in nature. So, an untrue statement means it is a false statement. Okay. The statement that somebody has made for me is false, it is not true, and it is defamatory also. The statement is also defamatory, means it is harming my reputation. The statement that the other person is making or has made for me injures my reputation. Now, the statement is made in writing. So, the statement is made in writing. It may be anything, a piece of paper, it may be a picture, okay, anything, but it is in a written form. So, basically, the written defamatory statement must be published and can be in any form such as writing, printing, newspaper, article. So, basically libel means the defamatory statement in a writing form, or the statement should be in a written form. So that is libel. And what is slander then? Slander is the defamatory statement spoken orally. So when some defamatory statement is spoken orally, it is not in a written form, it is not in writing. So this is the difference between libel and slander. Libel means a written statement, written defamatory statement, and slander means a spoken defamatory statement. So what is written? The oral defamatory statement can be in any form such as spoken words, it can be gesture. Gesture means just suppose I made a wrong gesture referring to some other person. So I am addressing some other person, okay, and my gesture means my bodily movements were not good. It harmed the reputation of some other person. My bodily movements, my gesture harmed the reputation of some other person. That belongs to slander, because the defamatory statement was not written, it was oral in nature, it was an expression, it was a bodily movement. That is slander, not libel. Okay. Now another important thing which you need to prove, or which the plaintiff needs to prove, which the plaintiff, who is the plaintiff? Plaintiff is that person to whom the defamatory statement is made, or to whom the defamation has been committed. He or she is the plaintiff. So the plaintiff needs to prove that. You cannot just say that he made a defamatory statement, that is why he has committed a tort and he has committed defamation. Now I need compensation from him. You just cannot say like this. You will have to prove that the defamatory statement was published. So what is the meaning of published? Published means it should be publicly done. Okay, it should be publicly done. Just suppose I made any defamatory statement, I and my friend are in a room, okay, are inside a room, and I made a defamatory statement to him or to her. Okay. Now, is this results to a tort or defamation? No, because it can happen that privately I can say anything to an individual, but if I harm his or her reputation publicly in front of everyone, that results to a harm to his reputation, then I commit a defamation and then I commit a tort. So you should prove that the statement was published. So it can also be published in any newspaper, in any newspaper article, in any magazine. Just suppose some false statement addressing you has been published in a newspaper, in a magazine, anything it may be, but it was published. So that is also a publication. That then in that case also the defamatory statement is published. In that case also you can sue the defendant for a defamation case. So let's see next. See, what is this? Under English criminal law, libel is a crime, but slander is not, it is just a civil wrong. So if you see English criminal law, okay, outside India, then you will see that libel is only a crime. Slander is not considered a crime, it is just considered a civil wrong, because slander is considered not that kind of a harm, because it is not in a written form, it is just orally spoken words. So under English criminal law, slander is just a civil wrong and libel is a crime. But under Indian criminal law, both libel and slander are criminal offences under section 498 IPC. So 499 IPC says about defamation. So 499, section 499 of Indian Penal Code says about defamation. So our criminal law, Indian criminal law, it deals libel and slander as same crime. Okay, both are same in nature. If it is written in form or if it is a orally spoken word, both are equally criminal offences. Both are equal in nature under our Indian criminal law, under Indian Penal Code. So Indian Penal Code under section 499 says about defamation, and it also says about libel and slander. Okay. Now let me say that criminal offences, okay, it can be a criminal defamation, it can also be a civil defamation. So if it is a civil defamation, then you can go to the civil court, and you can ask for compensation. Then in that case, if it is a civil defamation, okay, if it is a civil defamation, then court will award you compensation which the defendant will pay you, which the defendant will pay the plaintiff. So there will be compensation granted to the plaintiff which the defendant has to pay to the plaintiff. Okay, because there was civil defamation. But if it is a criminal defamation, means some criminal offense was committed, some criminal offense or some serious defamation has been committed by the defendant. In that case, the defendant can be jailed for 2 years. The defendant can be jailed for 2 years along with some compensation. So he has to pay both. He will be paying compensation as well as he will be jailed for 2 years. So this is what is civil defamation or criminal defamation. IPC section 499 says about both of these. It may be a libel, it may be a slander, it may be a civil defamation, it may be a criminal defamation. So civil defamation and criminal defamation are differentiated by the importance of crime. If it is not that serious in nature, it will become a civil defamation, and if it is very much serious in nature which results into too much damage to the reputation of other person, if it is in a social networking site or it may be anything, if the damage is much more serious in nature, it will become a criminal defamation, and for 2 years the defendant or the wrongdoer can be jailed. So this is all about libel and slander. This is all about libel and slander, and as you know now that libel and slander are two kinds of defamation. So I hope the concept of libel and slander are clear now, and libel and slander came from defamation, and defamation is a civil wrong that is in Law of Torts. So please do subscribe to our channel for more videos, and hit the like button so that you don't miss any updates, okay? And keep watching our channel, keep watching our videos, and keep liking. Thanks for watching.